Welcome back, Flaminpit Show Part 2. So in the Part 2 session, now we have Coach Rick Daniels, who's the head of Black Scorpion Boxing, Fitness, and
Self-defense.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. And he brought one of his students. What's your name, young man?
Tyler Snover.
I don't know why I forgot that. I should have written it down. You know, I'm getting kind of old here. But anyways, I welcome you guys to the show, and glad that last time we were supposed to come, the weather was so bad, snow was up to here, couldn't get out the house and all that stuff. Your wife was sick. I mean, It was a mess.
And Tyler had midterms.
Oh, see, There you go. So nobody made it. You know, I canceled the show that day. I said, I get to sleep in a day.
Yep.
So let's talk about the boxing, but one thing that's interesting, I was just looking at an article that was about you back in October of 12, and it's like, you're lucky to be here.
Absolutely.
Because it's telling me that you had, sickle cell anemia, you had 2 heart attacks, you had a stroke. I mean, come on.
God is good. I had a purpose, and I believe that my purpose is to be here doing exactly what I'm doing now. Because I used to do it years ago, back when I was in a group home, one of the group homes that I grew up in, and it stuck with me, the love and the passion to help young adults, young kids, teenagers, to help them just try to adjust in life and find a purpose and find a way to do something positive and get something positive out of life. And that's what God has blessed me to do. Since He took part of my eyesight, I'm legally blind, like Father Time, but I can see so much clearer now.
You guys amaze me with that. You say you're legally blind, but you're walking around doing everything. It's like, well, what can't you see? You just can't drive.
I can't drive, and if I'm on the computer, I have to have my screen blown up really large, and it's hard to read, like small print, newspaper articles, different things of that nature. But like I said, God is good. He kept me here. 3 years ago, I remember I was sitting in the hospital one day, and they brought the priest in and gave me my last rites, and they had my wife and daughter there, and they told her to get the family together and get all my personal affairs in order. And a couple days later, I was sitting in ICU eating Jell-O and thinking of a way to get out of there.
That's a good transition. I'd rather have the Jell-O than see the white light.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I still have some health issues with the sickle cell anemia. It wears me out pretty much often. And I've been in the hospital now since October 2009, a total of about 90 times.
Wow.
And those are...
Is that all from sickle cell or just different things?
Those are health-related issues caused by the sickle cell. Like I have pancreatitis and I have stage 3 kidney failure from that. But
I didn't know there was kidney failure within stages.
Yeah. Stage 4, I would go on dialysis. So I'm fighting stage 4 to get to stay away from dialysis.
Right.
But fortunately, right now, I just I eat healthy. I take care of myself. I drink a lot of water. I try to I got young guys like Tyler to keep me in shape, to keep me working and busy. And like I said, God is good. We're in the church 5 days a week. 4 of those days of the week, we're actually in there, working out, doing homework, doing mentoring. So we're passing on a tradition of helping to raise these young men, and every adult that's in the program is also a mentor in the program. So like Tyler, he's over 18. He's also one of the mentors in the program.
Oh, okay.
So the kids get to see something outside of Flint, outside of their immediate neighborhood, because some of these kids are really disadvantaged and really impoverished, and they don't get to see what life is like outside just the inner city is all they're accustomed to, all they're made aware of. Whereas Tyler comes in, he talks with the kids, he mentors with the children also, and tries to inspire him to do different things. He helps along with the homework, with the school projects. And any project that we need help with, he's always right there to help us. That's why he's the captain of the team.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So how did you get started in boxing? Like, I would think, like, being legally blind, like with Father Time, you have to, like, when you wrestle, you have to, like, point out, step here, step there. Now, it's the same thing with boxing, because how do you know you're not going to, hit the wrong person, with boxing, how do you box and be legally blind?
Well, with me being legally blind, I can see shapes and shadows. Mm-hmm. So I can see shapes when punches are coming towards me. I can see them quick enough to dodge them, and because I've been in the boxing world for over 35 years, I have natural instincts that come along with being in the sport.
So when people just throw their arms up like that, you already know what to do.
Already know what to do because I've practiced it over and over. And boxing is one of those sports where it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. There's a lot of repetitive hard work to naturally hone your skills so that they become second nature. Mm-hmm. So like when I call out a combination, they don't have to think about that combination. They just automatically go into it, and they can move and work the ring the way it's supposed to be worked.
Well, one thing I always say about boxing, why would anybody want to get beat in the face?
It's
what makes you want to get up today and say, I think I will go get beat in the face?
It takes a different type of person.
It
really is a different type of person, because boxing is unlike any other sport that I know of. I've tried a lot of different sports, but with boxing, it takes a different level of training and commitment, because you have to be in shape to be able to go 3 straight rounds. Mm-hmm. Like you're running full speed for 3 minutes a round.
Right.
And you get to rest 1 minute. So even people who jog and run slowly or run marathons, they aren't in shape to compete in this arena.
Right.
I've had professional basketball players that, they're so sick they're throwing up on themselves after they finish training with us.
It's like training with Bob Harper or Jillian Michaels.
Oh, we train hard.
Make them puke.
Absolutely. They do. They do. More than once. I've seen more than once they throw up on us because, we train to go 5 minutes around. I want my people to go, because a round is 3 minutes around. Mm-hmm. I want them to be able to train to go 5 minutes around. So when you get in there for 3 minutes is nothing for you.
You still got a couple minutes.
You still got energy. Whereas he's worn, the opponent's worn out. Mm-hmm. He's waiting on his rest. He's sitting in the corner trying to get water and a breath of air. Right. He's just standing over there waiting for the bell to ring, so you can go back out there and attack him. And that's an intimidating factor in itself.
For real,
because boxing it's about 75% mental and about 25% physical. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of mental preparation that goes into a situation where you're going to get hit. Yeah. It's like a basketball player, when they go play basketball, they know they're going to take a shot. They know they're going to dribble the ball. Mm-hmm. When you step in the ring, you're going to get hit. Right. You're going to get hurt. It happens every single night. Every day that we train, we get hit in the face, we get hit in the body, we hurt,
And you like that?
I love it.
You like getting busted in the face.
Yeah, like you said, it takes a special kind of person. You have to be a little bit kind of crazy, I think, to step in the ring and just say, all right, I'm going to hit you, you're going to hit me,
So did you start boxing to, build up muscles, get aggression out, or just something you wanted to try?
Really, it was initially to help get aggression out. It really gives me an outlet to let that aggression and my competitive side out, Otherwise, before I was boxing, I was a pretty angry kid. I'd come home, take a lot of that anger out of my friends, my family, all that, people around me. Mm-hmm. And I was a generally unhappy person. Mm-hmm. And I came here to train with Rick. And even these 3-4 months that I've been here totally changed my life. I'm a totally happier, just better person, I think.
So you was one of those baby's kids, and you needed an outlet.
Just about, yeah.
So you figured out yourself, I got to get this fixed because something bad could happen.
Right.
Yeah, with that kind of anger. And,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do your family think about you doing it? Was they like, Mom was like, I know, I'd be like, no, not my baby.
My mom at first was a little bit uneasy about it. Before, I've wrestled before earlier in high school, and she was that helped with the boxing. She was like, I've seen you get in the ring, get hurt before. But she's still pretty uneasy about it. She hasn't come up to any practices or anything, seen me get in there.
Yeah.
But she's supportive. She just she doesn't want to see her baby get hurt.
See, there you go. I know I wouldn't want to. I mean, now you think it's gonna build up? You could build up muscle, body, and all that.
Yeah. That's like a secondary thing.
You're gonna be all hulked up in a minute, huh?
Yeah.
Intimidating people all over the place.
Right.
And how long have you been doing it?
I've been here for about 3 months. I was about a year ago doing some MMA, UFC kind of stuff.
I don't understand that. That's another bloody sport.
Yeah.
My son's like, let's go to the arena and watch. I'm like, not me. I don't want to see blood and teeth flying. I won't even go to a hockey match because it's like, too much blood and guts.
Right.
And now? How many kids do you have at the gym?
In the program?
In the program.
On any given day, I'd say there's anywhere from 12 to probably 18 kids.
That's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
And what are the age groups?
The youngest he just turned 6
What?
last week.
Boxing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's too little.
He's pretty good, too. You should see him.
It's
little
too,
6-year-old?
Yeah,
it's too little.
Yeah, he's good, too. And our oldest is 36. We have a guy from Russia. He just moved here from Moscow a couple years ago. He
Russian
comes
Grim
and
Reaper.
we call him Russian roulette. Also.
That's the Grim Reaper.
This guy gets in there and he just goes and goes like an Energizer bunny.
He watched Rocky.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what do you think about? How would you compare your boxing to like with Rocky? Is it the same kind of thing? Like,
well,
or was his all just like for the show?
Well, no, ours is we really get in there and we bang it out. We bang it out.
You well protected, right? You got all your teeth.
Sometimes.
I have one chipped tooth. That's it.
What? I'd be like, oh, you're done.
Well, it was my mistake. I wasn't wearing the one time I didn't wear my mouth guard.
Oh,
took a shot and just.
That was that little 6-year-old that took you out.
Yeah, it happens though. I lost 2 teeth in December.
Then you still smile. You don't even care. Didn't even phase you.
Mess my smile up. Mess my smile, but that's okay though. It's part of boxing. It's part of boxing.
No.
And I learned, and I'm one of those foolish guys that don't wear headgear, don't wear mouthpiece, don't wear that stuff.
I don't need all that stuff.
I mean, sometimes I need it. I just don't wear it. I just don't wear it. Hard-headed, yeah. See, I broke these 2 fingers last fall. These 2 fingers were broken. This thumb is dislocated still.
Hard-headed.
And we get in there and we just
knuckle busting.
Yeah, we just get in there and but it's so much fun. It's an adrenaline rush. It's a stress reliever. And it's also we have a good team. We're a team first, and we always emphasize that we're a team more than anything else. No one is there to tease anyone else, to bully anyone else. It's an anti-bullying program.
Right.
So we support and we mentor each other, and we do everything we can to help the group grow as a unit.
So now, you being older, you're mentoring what age kids?
Pretty much everyone younger than me. All of them.
Everybody?
Yeah.
All of them.
So are you already... What would be your title like? Is there a phase for boxing or?
Well, he's the captain of the team.
Okay, so there's a boxing team of all these 18 people,
right?
So and that's you over the 36-year-old too.
Well, he's the captain of the team. The 36-year-old comes in. He's sort of like an honorary member of the team. He comes in.
Think I could take him?
I wouldn't want to try it.
I don't want to try it either.
Yeah, he still wears shorts.
Oh, real little shorts?
No, regular shorts. He doesn't even dress for winter yet. It's not even cold to him.
Oh, well. He's too much. He's been watching Rocky. They're out there running in the snow.
He's from Russia.
Right. Well, they have the same weather we do.
Yeah, but he's from a part near Siberia where it gets
really cold. 50 below.
Yeah, winter most of the year.
Yeah. So he's used to it. He wanted to come here for a little warmth.
Right.
Yeah.
We're only 30 below.
Right. Yeah, he's a real good guy though. He comes and he practices with us and he trains with us and he helps out with the kids. Even though he's not, officially on the team, he comes and he helps out with the kids. They treat him like he's one of the mentors in the program. So it just works out really well. We have an eclectic group of kids. Some of them are doing well in school. Some of them are knocking on the jailhouse door.
Yeah.
I got
was going to say, you got some at-risk kids.
Oh, yeah. Very at risk. One of them, he just got kicked out of his school district.
The whole
last week. Yeah, just last week. So now he's going to be going to Northwestern today. I have to find out if he was accepted into Northwestern High School, which is going to be a completely different change for him because he's one of those kids that come from good stock, but the streets are calling somewhere. The streets are really calling him, and he's fighting it. He comes to the program. But then there's days where he'll miss, 2 or 3 sessions, and then he'll come strolling in like he did last night. What,
What I do?
What I do? And I'm like, oh, you're still with us, huh? I didn't think so. And he'll try to work his way back in and get in our good graces again. But we don't drop him because if we drop him, he'll completely turn over to the streets.
Yeah, and so it's some boys in my neighborhood like that. We see them as having good potential, but when they say stuff like, I don't want to be with those good kids because that's too boring. I want to go over here and do something different. And then next thing you know, they getting handcuffed and carried away. I'm like, is that different enough for you?
Right. Is that what you were looking for?
Right. I mean, you found it or it found you. And then they get kicked out of the regular school system and they say they go to those little houses. They're like little individual houses. Like, what is that?
It's some type, I guess it's an alternative program for kids that are having trouble adjusting to regular school environments. So they I don't know if they're housing them, and if they're educating them at the same time or what they're doing with it. But programs like ours are designed to help these kids. We have them bring in their homework and everything. So even if they're having trouble in school, we tutor them. We tutor them with whatever homework assignments they have. If they're having any type of trouble with, bullying in school or home situations, because we have some kids that we may teach them not to fight in the program, but then they go home and the parents are having them fight. And the parents are actually out there with the kids fighting. I had an incident a couple of weeks ago where one of my kids were trying to teach him how not to fight in school and get kicked out of school, but his mother was actually at school with him and made him go back up to school and fight this other group of kids. And she was fighting with them. So, it's a struggle, but we just have to keep working at it and keep being diligent at our job of trying to keep them, bring them to the church. That's another one of the reasons why we're practicing the church.
Right.
And, some kids may think, well, it's a church, so, they may be soft or they may be weak or whatever. But I try to explain to them that one of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers in the world right now, Mr. Andre Ward, he's never lost a fight in his life since he was 12 years old.
I don't know who that is.
He won every amateur fight he ever had. He won the gold medal in the Olympics in 2004. He won the Super 6 middleweight championship competition between a bunch of other middleweights in his class. And he just recently beat the light heavyweight champion.
So is he old?
No, he's 26.
Because I'm thinking he's done all that since 2004.
Yeah, he's 26. His fight name is Son of God. He's Christian, well-mannered, great demeanor outside the ring.
Right.
And he's one of the people that I look up to and I show, my guys as an example, because you don't have to be a thug or a gangbanger or mean to be a boxer. Once he steps in the ring, he's a terror. He knocks people out at the drop of a hat.
Wow.
But once he steps outside the ring, he's back to being Andre Ward, the man.
Right.
And the God-fearing man, which is what I admire about him, is that, you can take a person, you can have a person like, say, maybe a Floyd Mayweather, that I admire his boxing skill, but I don't admire the man that he is because of, you're in a strip club burning $100 bills.
Right.
And we have people all over the world.
I could use some of them hundreds.
We need some of those hundreds for equipment, for different things.
Donate some of that money.
Donate some of this equipment for some kids that are like you, because he's from Michigan. He's from Grand Rapids.
Oh,
his whole family is from Grand Rapids.
And he up there burn that money. That was just too much.
He's burning money. And I don't think anyone has that much money where they can afford to burn. It's his. True enough, he made it and he earned it and he can do whatever he wanted to do.
But it'd be better set if you did something else with it.
If you could bless some some poor boxing program or any type of youth program, with that money that you're burning to help make a better generation, help make a better society as a whole.
Right.
And that's what our program is geared towards, is making better people, making better young men and women. We don't just have boys in our program, we have girls in it also.
Oh, okay.
And we have, a matter of fact, a twin boy and girl that are 8 years old.
And the girl, she's boxing. She wants to box too.
She wants to box too. Yeah. Now my daughter is her role model. My daughter, she loves watching my daughter box. My daughter can box really well, but she doesn't like to box. She just does it because I'm her dad and I don't have any sons, and that's our bonding time.
Oh, okay. So she doesn't really want to go in there and get beat all up in the face.
No, not at all. She's a dancer. She's a performer.
Oh, okay.
She's a performer.
I don't blame you. Don't want to be breaking nails and stuff.
No. She's strictly about the performance. But it's like I said, it's a good program. We help children that are having trouble in school. Like, they may have trouble in school and they may not want to bring it to their parents, or they may feel embarrassed about talking about different issues, bullying issues with other kids, where we can sit around and we discuss these issues and we help the kids with them.
Right.
We teach them that there's nothing wrong with defending yourself.
Right.
I'm not an advocate of anybody standing up and being abused by anybody else.
Exactly.
But you don't go out and you don't look for trouble. You don't start trouble.
Right.
And if you like to fight, bring it to the gym. Get rewarded for it. Get some ribbons.
Because these days they don't fight. They just shoot you.
Yeah.
They don't even fight. Like when I was a kid, they'd fight, then they handshake it, hug it out, and be friends the next day. But now they just shoot you, and now somebody's going to jail, somebody's dead. The whole thing is like, there's just no meaning to all that anymore.
A couple cross words, and now you watching your back because they coming to kill you.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you looked at me wrong. What does that mean? I'm going to look at you wrong. Well, what's looking at you right?
Right.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
And so now with Tyler, with you mentoring, and you say you help kids with homework and, different things like that, do you also have groups or younger kids that come to you and like just want to talk to you and be like, well, what's your story?
Not so much with the guys at the gym, because I just met them really like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
Just now, like learning, getting to know them, who they are. But
so you basically when you're with them, you're basically teaching them to box
versus
most of the time. Mentoring and right. But you more like the people they come to and they want to talk about something going on at home and.
Yeah.
Because at risk, a lot of time they'll, when they say, well, I got single parents, single family home, parent home. And a lot of time to me that's an excuse because I'm a single parent too. But another times, the mom goes out, the kids are left by themselves, so then they can come to the gym to be safe and, stuff like that.
Exactly. They can come and hang out with us, and like on Saturdays, our goal is to keep them busy. Mm-hmm. If you keep them busy and keep them, and what better place to be at than in church?
Right.
The goal is I use boxing as a way to bring them into church because a lot of kids have aggression and, different issues that they're dealing with because being a teenager is hard nowadays. Mm-hmm. My daughter just got a Facebook page. Uh-huh. That was a big deal for her. She got a Facebook page and she got a cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
I monitor her like I'm in the Secret Service.
Yep, I do my son the same.
And she don't understand that her father came from the military. Mm-hmm. My job was to monitor and pull covert missions on people and spy on people.
Yep.
She doesn't realize how close she is under the microscope. I look at every comment, every Facebook picture. Yep. I go through her history. I go through her bookmarks. I go through everything that she's ever...
password. And I'd be like, what is it? My son was like, well, why you want to know my password? I said, give me the password.
You have to.
Don't even ask me why. Just give it to me.
You have to. Because these kids nowadays, I look at some of the stuff that her friends now are putting on their pages.
It's not good.
And these are young 13, 14, 15-year-old girls with videos of themselves dancing and
they don't know how to dance. It's bumping, grinding.
Yeah, and half-dressed and all this. And I'm like, that's your friend. You need to delete her as your friend, first of all.
Right.
Because I don't want her associating with those type of people. Okay. She has a future, and we've groomed and developed her childhood so that she's not out there doing the typical things that kids are doing.
Right.
We homeschooled her, for one.
Well, they got this new show on reality shows called Preacher's Daughters.
Yeah.
And I started watching that. That's hilarious.
Oh, my goodness.
Because that little girl, she tried to trick her daddy. Talk about, I'm going over to Quanti's house. Next thing you know, they at the hotel.
Yeah.
And Daddy wasn't having it. Mm-mm. She was like, I'm not a little girl. I'm 17. He said, get to 18. I was like jumping for joy because he was on it. Yeah. She lied right to the end. Now, if that had been my mom, she wouldn't have been sitting there. Well, she'd have been beat down so fast.
Part of the problem is that she'd have never got to the hotel party.
Right. My mother.
Because I would have known, for one, that she didn't go to Quanti's house. And for two, Quanti's mother didn't know nothing about it.
She didn't know anything about it. She's like, what you talking about?
The parents didn't discuss that. So that's why they were able to go to this hotel party.
Right.
One of my fighters was just at a hotel party this weekend. That's why he missed practice. Mm-hmm. He was at some hotel, and he didn't know it. But I'm on his Facebook page. I see him on there with his whole little crew of guys throwing up their little gang symbols and all this stuff.
And that's crazy.
At the hotel.
Yeah.
So I asked him, well, where were you at? Oh, Coach, I was sick this weekend. Really? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You can tell that to your mother.
Yeah.
Because she wants to believe the best in you. But
But you guys are stupid enough to post it.
Exactly.
That's what's so bad. It's like you're dumb criminals.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because the kids in my neighborhood, they went to a party at the hotel, and then they made so much noise. The police came. They was jumping out windows and everything. And the one boy's father is a Flint Township policeman. I said, now, I would smack you until the middle of next week.
Yeah.
Because you're making him look bad as a policeman and a father, and you out here acting crazy. He said, well, I saw it. I peeked through the peek hole. It was him. I hit the window. I was like, oh, my goodness. First of all, I've never believed in letting them go to those unsupervised.
No.
And they're minors. They're like 15, 16. You're a minor. Why would you go?
What are you doing in the hotel?
Why couldn't you just go to somebody's house? Mm-hmm. Like we used to have all the basement parties and stuff like that. Now they go into hotels. For what? And then unsupervised. It's asking for trouble.
And then they end up wrecking the place.
Yep.
And whatever adults signed for it, now you're responsible for it. You didn't think you thought they were going to sit there and play cards or something, or
no,
play
bingo?
Bingo?
In there to terrorize. Yeah. We're gonna bring them all to your gym.
Oh yeah, because we work them. I mean, I believe in discipline. I believe in. I grew up in group homes, and from there I went in the military. Mm-hmm. I believe in discipline and order, and I think that children like rules.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit it, but they need boundaries.
Need the structure. A psychologist was saying that. I was looking at a show, and the psychologist was saying how kids need that, and they really want it. But they don't want to let you know they want it.
Right.
And so once they get crazy and then you rein them back in, then they can really enjoy it because they do need boundaries. They don't know what they're doing. They just running wild, It's like watching those kids on Maury Povich that come out there and just be ridiculous. I want to slap them through the TV.
It's crazy. And like I tell my daughter, I refuse to be a grandparent.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't want to
before she's away from our home. Mm-hmm. And we have done too much grooming, from the time she was born up until now, for her to go out here in this world and just do something stupid.
Only take one time.
It only take one time. And it's one little boy saying something sweet to her in her ear.
Oh,
and the
worry.
next thing you know,
don't need it.
And we have her watch Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant.
Yeah, those are the
Blackboard Wars,
I watched Blackboard Wars the first time the other night. That was really good.
It is.
But that Teen Mom, I just be tripping out at them because they're young and having them babies. Then they worry about the boyfriend. Of course, he's not going to be a real father. They are young.
He's 17. He's 16.
They don't
Who wants to be
that.
a father at 16?
They don't know how. They just see visitation as being a father, but they still live at home with their mothers.
Yeah.
And the moms take care of the kids. So you're not a father. You just somebody made a baby.
Mm-hmm. And see, a lot of times, a lot of these problems, I think, come from the parents. Like I have a situation right now that I'm dealing with. There's a young man that he came to me about 4 months ago, I met him about 3 years ago. But about 4 months ago, he came to me and knocked on my door, and he wanted to do a private boxing session because he was getting ready to fight some guy in school.
Oh.
So he came to me. We did the private session. The guy was so bold enough that he came up to where he was at to fight him.
Right.
And the guy I knew he was scared, but I'm going to teach him and everything. Well, a He started coming for a couple of weeks, and then his mother realized he was coming up there, and she didn't want him coming up there. One day, she even pulled up and called him from outside. And was like, "Get out here, come get out of there right now." Well, just yesterday in school, he gets punched in the face in the lunchroom by somebody. I mean, in the middle of the lunchroom. Oh, so he's embarrassed. Then he gets punched again in the hallway in the face by this guy. And so last night, as we were leaving practice, we run into his mother in the store. And she's like, "Well, I need to talk to you guys about him getting in the boxing program because he's getting beat up and he's bullied and all this." And I explained to her before that your son right now is one of those type of children that'll get a gun and come to school and kill somebody. Right. Because he's so scared to go to school. He's been getting bullied now for the last 3 years that I know of.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why he came to me in the first place, wanted to learn how to fight.
Right.
You told him he couldn't learn how to fight. He contacted another guy in the boxing program, Jeff, last night. He's trying to get Jeff to get him a gun.
Oh, now see, that's not.
Mother doesn't know any of this stuff. Mother thinks he's a sweet angel and he's my baby and there's nothing wrong with him. And meanwhile, son's trying to get a gun so that he can go up here and deal with this situation with this guy that's bullying him every day in school.
Right. That's one way to fix it, but it's not the right way.
Right. So I'm hoping that maybe God brought her back to us so that we can get him in the program before it's too late, before he goes and gets a gun and does something, that he'll regret the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because he's at that age, and I try to explain to these teenagers that, you may think you're a kid, but you're doing adult behavior.
Yeah, and they're going to treat you like an adult.
And they're going to treat you like an adult. Like one of our guys, he had a video. It was a big thing with him and his girlfriend. They broke up. You know how teenagers are.
Right.
They broke up. He wants to put it on Facebook. He had a video of them having sex. And he's going to put it on Facebook. And I explained to him just last week or 2 weeks ago in Steubenville, Ohio, they had 2 teenagers that were on this football team. Yep. These 2 guys got arrested and convicted of having sex with an underage girl. Yep. They were 16 years old.
And put it up on video, YouTube.
Put it up on the internet. And now they're also looking for, there's another 30 kids that they're looking for that were there at this party and spread this video also. Yeah. Now they're in trouble as well. And they don't realize how, just because you're 15, 16 years old, you can still be tried as an adult. Yeah. And you can go to prison. Yeah. And once you do, mama's not there to save you.
And your name is history now. Yeah. I mean, you got that black mark forever and a day.
Yeah. And I explained to him, if you put this video on Facebook with this girl being 15 and you 15, that's spreading child pornography. Right. You have to register as a sex offender. Even though you're a child, you still registered as a sex offender. Yeah.
See, those are the things they don't understand. They just think it's fun. Well, I'll get her back. Because somebody had posted a picture of a little couple having sex on Facebook, and I didn't even know what it was. And I just happened to click on it, and I was like, I was all embarrassed, and his friend was taking a picture, and the girl was talking on her cell phone while she having sex. She's like talking on the phone to her boyfriend while she having sex with this little boy, and his friend was taking a picture, and they were slapping hands like, yeah, man, and she up here like this, and I was just, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh! I mean, come on. Who thinks of that?
That's crazy.
Who thinks of that? I'm like, you hot.
But these kids, it's a whole different. I remember when I was young, I remember we did some crazy things, but this is a whole different
The internet make people go crazy. They forget once you put stuff on the internet, you can't take it back.
It's up there forever.
You can delete it off of your computer, but it's already gone.
It's already
Somebody in Russia looking at it now, and they need to realize that, but they just get all tech savvy and they just start flipping buttons and it's gone now.
Or regret it.
Oh, yeah.
Or they do it and then they regret it because now the same girl that he was going to expose on Facebook last week and had a video of him and his cousin having sex, now they're back together.
See?
Mm-hmm. Week later, they're back together.
Now, what if you had put that up there? Right. And then they show their faces. That's what's so dumb. They show their faces. It's like, oh my God, everybody know that's you. You can't say that's not me.
Right.
Yes, it is.
That kind of looks like you.
There's no way of getting around it.
Oh my goodness.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it seems like it's a good program that you have that, to help kids try to stay out of trouble. I mean, I know it's hard because there's so many outside elements that's pulling them the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I think once they get into a program like that, you have good support from the family and everything, you can turn your lives around. They're at risk, but you can always stop being at risk.
Right.
I mean, it's hard work.
It is.
And they just have to want to do it.
It is hard work, but it's fulfilling work. When you see the difference that you're making in a child, and it can be just a small thing, and I'll take the small rewards over the bigger ones. The bigger ones will come later, but just to see a child that may walk in and, hey, Coach Rick, I brought my homework with me, or I brought my progress report and I got 3-4 A's, a B, and a C.
Right.
I've had kids bring that in. I've had kids come in with their homework, and then I'll tell the parent, your son brought his homework in, right? And he wants to do his homework before he actually starts boxing. And I'll have the parent ask me, who? Whose son?
Whose son? That's
Your
not
son.
my son.
Your son. He's over there doing his homework right now before he actually starts boxing, because he knows that that's a priority in the program.
Right.
If you can't go to school, you can't box.
Right.
So any kid that gets kicked out of school, they're automatically suspended from the boxing program.
Oh, no, that's good.
Yeah, and
so
also
that they won't think, well, I can just go up there.
No, it
you
won't
gotta
happen.
do
If you can't go to school,
and you can't come in here.
You can't box. You can't come in here at all. Don't even come in. The other thing is that it's a church program, and it's in our church. So if there's a member who wants to box in our program, in our church, who's having trouble, every member of our church, they box for free. They're in the program for free. We don't charge them any monthly fees whatsoever, anything. The only thing they have to do is supply their own equipment, and the rest is paid for. As far as licensing, we're going to have fundraisers this year. Once the weather finally breaks, we're going to have fundraiser exhibition fights to raise money so that everyone can get their licensing. Because we're all going to need, like Tyler, he needs a license. All the kids need a license, and that's $60.
What do they need a license for?
To be able to fight.
Oh, okay.
Every year they have to have a pass book that you enter their fights in. That's how their amateur record is kept. Is kept. And that pass book, every year it has to be renewed for a fighter. Every 2 years, the coach I have to renew my license. It's a little bit more, but it's for 2 years.
So what's the cost for people to come to the program?
To come to the program, it's $30 a month for any child that's under 18. It's $60 a month for anyone over 18. Once they have their own equipment, or if they don't have the equipment, we can supply equipment, or they can purchase their own equipment, or they can use the equipment that we have if they don't have it.
Now, what equipment do they need?
Everyone needs a mouthpiece, of course.
Yeah, we know about that.
A mouthpiece, hand wraps, and gloves.
And that's it?
That's it.
What about punching in the body and
that's it?
Knees and
now
we
don't do MMA, so there's nothing below the waist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no
shoulder
punch.
pads.
Nope, no punching below the waist.
Wrap me up so in case somebody hit me, I'll be able to breathe.
Oh no, that's the whole point of boxing. That's the science, the sweet science of boxing is having the ability to hit a person and not be hit.
Don't knock the wind out of you.
Oh yeah, it happens. It happens. A body blow is actually more damaging than a shot to the head is. So and we do a lot of practicing where we'll just work the body, and we do a lot of sparring. We spar basically every night that we train.
And that's just punching people all over.
That's the best way to learn how to fight is by fighting. Just like anything else, the best way to learn if you want to enter NASCAR and you want to be a race car driver, the best way to learn how to be a race car driver is to drive a car.
Now I like that.
Yeah, the best way to learn how to box is to step in the ring
I don't want to get punched out.
It's after a while you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it never.
So you used to it already?
I mean,
you got used to it real fast.
Yeah, real fast. After the first couple of days of getting knocked around, you get used to. It's not more getting hit and then being oh that hurts. It's more getting hit and being able to focus and keep your mind straight and keep going. Than it is.
And that's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting to be able to. It's a mental challenge to be able to think clearly at the same time moving and knowing to attack and knowing when to come back and move and go back in and come out.
So now, if you got into an actual fight, do you think you would box versus knock down, drag out, kicking butt fight?
I wouldn't come out and bob and weave and
no bobbing and weaving. What?
Well, I'll be moving my head, but I'm not going to come out there and box.
You're just going to throw some punches?
I'll throw some punches.
Now, what's the difference between just throwing punches and boxing? I mean, it's just...
Well, throwing punches, I meet a lot of people that come in and, I street fight or, I did MMA or this and that, where boxing is a science. Mm-hmm. It's called a sweet science, and it's called that for a reason, because there's a lot of technical application that goes into the sport of fighting. Okay, whereas you take a person off the street, they may not know how to stand. Most of them don't stand properly. They don't throw a punch properly. Mm. They end up hurting themselves fighting. Mm. And in most fights you may see 2 punches thrown, and then they're wrestling, rolling around on the ground.
Yeah, they always take them to the ground, and then they sit on top of you and go, blam, blam.
Yeah, that's usually the fight plan.
Right.
Whereas in boxing, it's more technical. Mm-hmm. And the art is the art of hitting a person and not getting hit. And knowing body mechanics, how to throw a punch the proper way that your body should turn when you're throwing a punch, how your hands should be held, how to move around in the ring.
Keep your face covered.
How to keep your face covered. Sometimes, and see, you don't want to do that because I don't need to hit you in the face. I just hit your gloves, and the gloves will do the work for me. I teach people that because I get guys that come in there and they put the gloves over their face, and I just pop them like that, and I show them, and look, the gloves will hit you. It'll do the work for me. Plus, you can't see.
Right. You can't see what's happening.
Right, it blocks your vision. But it's a sweet science.
That's too funny.
And I love teaching you can take a person that's been boxing for years and years and years, but you're only as good as the person that trained you. Mm-hmm. And if the person that trained you has limited exposure or limited experience, you're going to have limited skills.
Right. So
I try to learn as much as I can. I'm always a student of boxing. Mm-hmm. Even though I've been involved in it for over 35 years, I'm still a student of the game. I constantly watch fights. I'm constantly learning different techniques, different maneuvers, trying out different things to see what works and what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And because I want to ultimately build the best fighting program in the city of Flint, in the state of Michigan, in the United States. Oh. And it's a unique program because no other boxing program teaches mentoring as well as homework and schoolwork and anti-bullying. You just go in the gym, you pay your membership, you learn how to box, you leave.
You're on your way.
You're on your way. Mm. That's why so many fighters, they end up making money and losing money. You take a person like a Mike Tyson. He's my age. Mm-hmm. But when he was boxing, he made $300 million. Well, he broke as an artichoke now.
He broke.
And you made $300 million. Right. How do you lose that money? So apparently,
making it rain.
Yeah, apparently there's another part of the equation that's not being fulfilled.
Right.
And that's the learning part of it, which is what we've implemented with the program. Mm-hmm. So not only are you going to learn how to box, you're going to learn boxing history. You're going to learn the history of the science itself. You're going to learn about old boxers, old boxing historians, boxing information that you may have overlooked or felt that it wasn't important enough to know about, where we go over those aspects. We go over money management, how to manage them once you do make some money, how to keep it, how to manage it, and those are just things that we've incorporated in this program because we want it to be a different program than, say, a Burston or a Joe Bird's Place. Right. Those are good boxing institutions, good academies, but all you're going to learn is boxing. Whereas our goal is to ultimately bring them closer to God. It's one of the reasons why we're in church, as well as teach them different avenues. Everybody may not want to be a boxer. Right. You may have a person that they may want to be a manager or a trainer or a coach or a strength and nutrition trainer, right. Or or a bookmaker, a promoter, different things of that nature. But we use boxing as just a way to bring them in because a lot of kids have anger issues, right. Whether they're being bullied or bullying a person. Bring that energy in here, put it to a positive use, and get some trophies, some ribbons, some awards for it, rather than getting a
black
record.
eye and busted
and a record.
And a record, yeah.
Exactly. Getting convicted of a crime or something.
Right,
and
right.
Tyler just recently brought 2 of his buddies from school, from his high school, and they're thinking about joining the program.
Oh, well, that's good.
So it's starting to grow, and I appreciate him being a part of the program because he comes out, he's always here on time, he's always here early, ready, and he comes ready to work, ready to put in the hard work, and he listens and he's learning. I think that's why he's advancing so quickly, is because he's absorbing and digesting the information that we're putting out there.
Right, and you're enjoying it.
Love it. Favorite part of the day.
So now tell everybody what are the hours and the location of the gym?
Okay, we currently train at the United Missionary Baptist Church. That's at 6440 Clio Road, Flint, Michigan, of course, 48504. And we train Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we also train Saturday from 11 to 2 p.m. We go over homework. Any child that has homework at school, they can bring that homework in and we'll go over it with them. We go over our mentoring program. We do as much sparring. I think we do more sparring probably than any other place because we spar every session. Because like I said, the best way to learn the science is to actually apply the techniques that we teach.
Right.
So we will go over, like with Tyler, I'll go over a method with them, a strategy with them, and then we'll immediately get in the ring and we'll test that out.
Right.
So he can see how it works and how it applies in a fight situation. So that when the time comes. Now also, before a person is ready to actually have a match, we have a certification program. It's a 5-level certification program where we teach them the rules of the code of conduct for our program, as well as a 50-punch, 3-punch combination chart and basic footwork. And from that, they move up to the next level. And we also perform to get their physical endurance and strength in order, so that by the time they're ready for a fight, I want them to be able to step in there with all the confidence in the world that they know they're going to win this fight. You don't want your guys you don't want your people stepping in there and worried. There's going to be those jitters originally anyway because you're fighting, and I tell people that you're going to be scared regardless. Anybody that steps in the ring and says they're not scared before a fight is fooling themselves.
Right.
Because there's all types of fear that go into actually having a boxing match, even a sparring match.
Right.
You're scared of being embarrassed. You're scared of you may not be scared to actually get in there and fight, but you may have family and friends there. You may be afraid of being embarrassed. Doing something that may make you look silly or something like that.
Like running around the ring.
It happens. It happens. We've had guys come there and bring their buddies with them to try to impress their friend.
Right.
And it didn't turn out so.
It wasn't so impressive, huh?
No. For neither person.
That's funny.
But, boxing is one of those sports where, in a lot of other sports, you can talk trash, you can talk junk, and you don't really have to prove it. Whereas you can only talk so much trash in boxing. And then you actually have to get in there and prove and do what you say you're going to do.
Right.
And there's no one in there to help you. Once the press conference is over with and the weigh-in is over with and you've had the face-off and now it's actually time for you to step in the ring, there's nobody in there to help you. There's a trainer in the corner to kind of advise you along the way, tell you what to do. But you're in there on your own.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. And if you haven't learned and adapted those principles that we've been teaching, you're going to have a hard way to go. Like we say, you want to train hard so you can fight easy.
Right.
Now, if you train easy and go easy and slack off and don't show up, you're going to fight hard. You're going to have a hard fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Coach Daniels and Tyler, for coming in today. It's been very enlightening to me because I learned so much. I don't know anything about boxing, and I'm one of those that would be like, no, I'd be running around the ring, I don't know anything, and I still don't know anybody that want to go in the ring and get busted in the face, but I guess y'all do.
Hey, it's a pleasure to do it.
In saying that, I want to thank you guys again for coming in, and this Flaminpit Show, we're going to sign off, but make sure you tune in next week. I'm doing a 4:30 show, And my guests will be the twins, Andrea and Angela Pringle. They have a little shoe store I think it's called Barely Used. And they're 17-year-old twin entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay.
So, I was all over it. So
nice.
Next week, Flaminpit Show will be at 4:30. But for now, we're signing off.
All right.